After entering into covenant with God at Mount Sinai, Israel now receives instructions for building a dwelling place where the presence of God would rest among them. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites to bring me an offering. You are to receive the offering for me from everyone whose heart prompts them to give." It was not a tax or forced contribution. It was an invitation of love. God desired gifts from willing hearts: gold, silver, bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, fine linen, goat hair, ram skins dyed red, sea cow hides, acacia wood, oil for the lamps, spices for anointing and incense, and precious stones were to be gathered. These treasures, offered freely, would form the materials of the tabernacle, the sanctuary of God's presence. Then God said, "Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them." The same God who thundered from the mountain now desired to dwell in the midst of his people. This is grace and the Holy One choosing to live among the redeemed. The Lord also instructed that everything be made exactly according to the pattern he showed Moses on the mountain. The design came from heaven, not from human imagination, showing that true worship must always follow God's divine order. The first item described was the Ark of the Covenant, the most sacred object in all Israel. It was to be made of acacia wood, overlaid with pure gold inside and out. It symbolized the throne of God on earth, his dwelling among his people. Rings and poles were attached so the ark could be carried without being touched, for it represented God's holy presence. Inside the ark were placed the tablets of the covenant, the law of God written by his own finger. Later, a jar of manna and Aaron's rod that budded would also rest there as witnesses to God's provision and power. Over the ark was the mercy seat, a solid piece of pure gold with two cherubim facing each other, their wings spread upward, overshadowing the mercy seat. Here, between the cherubim, God said he would meet with Moses and speak with him. This was the center of divine fellowship, where mercy covered the law. Once each year, the high priest would sprinkle blood on the mercy seat, atoning for the sins of the nation. It pointed to Christ, our true mercy seat, whose blood covers our sin once for all. Next came the table of the bread of the presence. It too was made of acacia wood overlaid with gold, and it held 12 loaves of bread representing the 12 tribes of Israel. This bread, always before the Lord, symbolized continual fellowship and divine provision. God was not a distant deity. He dined in the midst of his people. The table speaks of communion, reminding us of Christ, the bread of life, who satisfies the hunger of every soul that comes to him. Then the Lord described the golden lampstand, the menorah. It was to be crafted from a single piece of pure gold, with a central shaft and 6 branches, 3 on each side. Each branch was decorated with cups shaped like almond blossoms, buds, and flowers, a symbol of life and light. Its 7 lamps were to burn continually, filling the holy place with light. Since there were no windows in the tabernacle, this lampstand was the only source of illumination, a perfect picture of God's light shining in a dark world. It pointed to Christ, the light of the world, and to his church, which shines his light to all nations. Every detail was precise, and God ended his instructions with this solemn reminder: "See that you make them according to the pattern shown you on the mountain." Nothing in the tabernacle was random. Every beam, curtain, and vessel reflected a heavenly truth. The tabernacle was not merely a tent. It was a prophecy made of gold, wood, and fabric, a portrait of Christ's person and work. In this chapter, we see the heart of God revealed, a God who longs to dwell with his people. Through the tabernacle, he was teaching Israel that holiness, mercy, and fellowship all flow from his presence. The ark shows his throne, the table his provision, and the lampstand his light. Together they form a picture of perfect communion, God with us. Next comes Exodus 26, where God gives the pattern for the tabernacle itself, the curtains, coverings, and framework that would house his glory among the people.